Well, it's still officially spring. I love waterfalls, by the way, and I love hibiscus plants. You know, we've got quite a bit of hibiscus out here. Generally, they always die in the winter. No matter how many times we cover them, they just don't seem to make it. Got some really beautiful looking red ones back over here. Guess I'll get out of the way. Don't need to see my shadow, but really good looking plants. Anyway, speaking of good looking plants, I wanted to take you a little tour again back. Oh, I love these, by the way, these flowers here. I got to think about getting some plants or some flowers back here that attract bees, so I get a better pollinating rate over on my in my garden. But wanted to just kind of quick do a few highlights here. It's the lighting's not the best because the sun is going down. It's a little later here in Texas, but the first thing I wanted to point out was we have got a grapevine maturing tomato. That's right, that's my first one this year. So we're gonna leave them on there for a while. I mean, I know you can pull them off now and let them mature on the counter, but I want that sucker to become crimson red. I know you probably won't, but I'm gonna let them sit there as long as possible until the next big storm is supposed to come in. That way I don't want them to explode like I've seen. Anyway, wanted to show that because I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited about, we also have the same stuff happening on this Joala finger. As you can see, he is starting to mature as well. So that to me is really cool. And then it's like it's spreading around the garden. The Fresno pepper is also starting to mature, and the lighting's not that good to see it, but it is turning pretty red. So the Fresno pepper, the Joala finger pepper, and the tomato are all ripening. And I think finally I'm going to give you the best shot possible of these big gems. I don't think I've really shown just how big these peppers are. I mean, it is a monster. Look at that thing. And we've got two on the plant. There's another one down here, and I don't want to break them, but they're really huge. I'd say 10 to 12 inches. We've also got some baby New Mexico Big Jim started. And over here on the Tasmanian habanero, these peppers continue to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm really excited. I just did a little fertilization, and if you haven't noticed yet, I mulched. You know what happens is we get all this downpour, and because my backyard, I don't know if you could tell, but it's on a little bit of a slope, and so after a rain it's soaked up here, but within a couple of days this dries out because it all comes down. And so if I get a couple of downpours followed by 3 days of no rain and 85, 90 degree weather like today's, not a cloud in the sky. It's 88 degrees here in Texas, so it's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. We had a torrential downpour yesterday, but if I don't have mulch, the soil dries out and the roots get baked. And what I've noticed is, see if I can show you something over here that's probably the best indication, especially in this planter's box. You will notice that on my peppers, my purple jalapeno pepper, see these leaves like this? Well, all of that happened over a week when I was out of town, and we had 4 days in a row of very hot weather, so it baked the soil. And what I think happens is, because here where I live, you can only water on trash days, which is Wednesday, or you get a big fine. So 1 day a week watering, if we get a storm Wednesday, which is my trash day, and then in my water system goes on or doesn't go on based on the rain sensor, then I could have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 6 days in a row of no water. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to set these up on a different setup. They're flower beds, they're gardening beds. I only need them on for 10-15 minutes a couple times a week. So what I think I'll probably end up doing is just setting this system on a different day. I know that technically you can only hand water on days you're not supposed to water, but I don't want these suckers to die. And honestly, the mulch, without doing anything that I'm not really supposed to do, the mulch kind of helps out. So I've mulched the pepper bed, I've mulched the tomato bed. I need to mulch the center box here. I'm just not quite sure if I'm going to do it yet. I've got a question for the viewers out there. You know, I come out every morning, and it seems like I get these little mushrooms. Now, I never got those before, and I bought a cheap pack of compost and a cheap pack of garden soil, and it was to help fill up this big bed. It was such a big bed, I needed literally like 10 more bags of stuff to get it to where it is. So I bought 5 each of those, and I'm thinking it was in that material. But I pull them, and then next day there's more, and then I pull them, and then there's more, and then I pull them, and there's more. It seems like they keep. So my question is, am I supposed to just let them die off, honestly, or do I just have to keep fighting and pulling them, or should I not even worry about them at all because they don't do much? That's my question. A couple little things. We got, as you can see here, we have actually got some mini bell peppers growing. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we do have some. We also have some mini, let's see if I can get it to zoom in, might be too close. We have some mini jalapenos, purple jalapenos growing, so that's cool. And then you can probably tell, but my oregano's starting to darken back up again. You can see along the edges here, it's starting to get green again after being yellow. So I think some things that I added helped. I'll show you what I've added. So I've added a little bit of blood meal. Obviously that's really good for the nitrogen, and that greens them up. And I added some bone meal, which is good for the phosphorus. All organics. Joe's what I used. And then I also utilized some fish fertilizer right here. And then I always put a little plant food once in a while, every couple of weeks. It's water based, so I just 7 drops in a quart. Normally I use half solution, so I don't put too much of that in there, because you're getting some from this. There's already some in all the soils that I use, and then there's this stuff. But anyway, long story short, it appears, and I know I'm all over the place, sorry, it appears that the trick has worked, and not so much of an apparent working on the peppers yet, but we'll keep working it. And anyway, I got the blood meal because one of the viewers said that maybe I could fix for good the garlic by having some high nitrogen fertilizer or some blood meal, just so I can get these guys whipped back into shape. The potatoes are still hanging in there. As you remember, these are the just over a month old Texas russet, and this is the 60 days, give or take a couple of days. I planned them 226, so I guess 2 days of February and 31 days of March is 33, and today's the 20 what is today, the 25th? So you know, we got 58 or 59 days. Anyway, bottom line is those are doing good. Final piece here is the composting bin. You know, it's actually, let me turn it real quick, because I added a little bit of the compost that I recently had to it recently. Just want to make sure I spin this right. And there we go. Let's see what we got in here. So, you know, still working it pretty well. It's a little wet from all the thunderstorms, but I'm pretty excited. Probably need to, smash it up a little bit besides just turning it. But like I said, I'm in no hurry. It seems to be breaking down really good. It's actually got a pretty good amount of heat. More in some spots than others. Yeah, like right down here is very hot, and not much heat up here. So again, being new at this, I guess I'll just figure it out. Anyway, I'm doing kind of a different update this time. You've seen all the tomatoes. I just wanted to show that I got some ripening tomatoes. I've got some ripening peppers, and I wanted to show the size of those really large New Mexico Big Jims. They're just such huge peppers. And obviously, and then just to point out too, all of my plants have gotten a lot more foliage this week, and a lot more blossoms. I still am frustrated as can be. I don't have any chocolate habanero blossoms yet. Every time I get one, they fall off. So there's nothing on that one. There's nothing on this one. We have some beginnings of the next round of blossoms here. Hopefully these stick. As it stands right now, I have not had a chocolate habanero pepper even set fruit, as well as either of the orange Scotch bonnets. So those two types of peppers, I have not even had a fruit set yet, unlike all of the other ones. And I know I said last time I was going to eat these serrano peppers, but you know what? Now that I've got some maturing going on, and these fruits just set a few weeks after the other peppers, so I'm thinking I'm going to give them a few weeks to see if they turn red. But my supply of peppers is running out. I only have about 4 or 5 peppers left from all the harvests that I have done. Oh, and I guess I'll take you to a quick look at the lettuce, is the romaine lettuce. It's still doing really well. I mean, these 4 plants are, and then even the runt is starting to produce some leaves here. So all in all, doing well. Nothing really to talk about. Oh, I did want to show this to you actually. I trellised this a little better. I added support on this side and then support on the opposite side, just to give that structure a little more strength, seeing as how I can tell you that these plants looked pretty sad, and they are really starting to fill out now. So I'm thinking that I better get this support system ready, because the weight will come on. I said I was originally going to do some cages, but I'm not going to do some cages on these at all. I'm just going to let them stay kind of thinned out as much as possible and get bang for buck, because I really can't wait to eat some of these grape tomatoes that these plants are putting off everywhere. So, and then finally, problem solved. Basil is doing well. Little yellowing, but again, that was a shock, like I told you last week. They're doing fantastic in my opinion, and I've been chomping at them and they taste fantastic. All right, that's the update this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.